Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate y'all being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us that very first time, welcome. It's good to have you. And as a quick message, to everyone watching today, my focus, my mission here, on the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I possibly can to as many people as I possibly can across all channels, all regions. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel, when you choose to like the videos, and when you choose to share the information. So if you've not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. And to learn more about me and learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, please check out those links below. And so with that said, let's get into our topic here today. And it's 5 critical tips for gym managers to communicate more effectively. Okay? Department heads, operators, anyone who's in charge, tips to communicate more effectively. There's a lot of good people out there, at what they do, and sometimes they don't do as well as they could. They don't maximize it simply because they don't communicate that well. A lot of companies don't communicate that well. Okay, it's one of the more common things that I see in management is a result of poor communication. We, as that leader, we just get more frustrated with our staff. Eventually, we part ways, saying, "Well, they would just never do it," and they're frustrated with us. And the whole issue, many times, is simply, communication. So I want to give you 5 things to think about on how you can improve communication. If you're a leader, a director right now, how are you doing on some of these, and what can we do, to improve communication? You'd be surprised how many clubs I walk into, and I'll ask the trainers, well, hey, what marketing is going out this month? How are we getting people in here to help you write more business? Well, I don't know. They never tell me. You'd be surprised how often I hear those kind of things. People need to know. Okay, so 5 critical tips for gym managers to communicate more effectively. Number 1, communicate relentlessly. Communicate relentlessly. I mean, there's so many ways, to communicate, right now. What if you had one-on-one meetings with all your staff every week? You have a team meeting, once a week. You send out, text messages. You send out emails. You hand out a newsletter. Okay, there's a lot of ways we can communicate. And then you pick up the phone and call somebody. Okay, but communicate relentlessly. Don't just assume that they're getting the message or understand it. Okay, so there's a lot of ways right there. Okay, through different media. I'll give you another way to do this too, because we want to make sure everyone knows everything, or to the extent that we can, right? We'll create like a marketing logbook. We do this with several things, but a marketing logbook at our front desk. And it can be an actual logbook, or you can go digital. You can do it online with a Google Doc. But we've got our marketing logbook, and it outlines, hey, here's what's going on right now with marketing. Here we've got a direct mail program going. We've got an online social media campaign going. Here's what we're doing on Instagram. Here's the referral campaign. Here's a former member program. Here's how we're answering the phone. Here's what's happening. And every day when they come in, they have to review it and sign off that they read it. That's a great way to make sure everyone is in the know in terms of what's happening. But communicate relentlessly. Let everybody know. Doesn't matter who it is. They could be working 2 hours a week. They need to know. They're on the weekends and you never really even see them, but they have to know. Communicate relentlessly. Okay. Simplify and be direct. Number 2. Simplify and be direct. Keep this simple and just be direct. Say what you mean. I'm not talking, we're being mean about it. Okay, we're going to be kind about it, but say what you mean and say it simply and be direct. Okay, but say what you mean. We're not trying to be vague. We're not trying to, duck around, corners. Okay, simplify it. Be direct. Mary, the reason we're having this conversation is, sales performance is down. We need to get it up. Okay, help her. Be a resource center, for these folks. Number 3, listen and encourage. Listen and encourage. So let's talk about this a little bit. Listening is different than simply waiting for our turn to talk. Listen to what people have to say. Have some empathy. If they're struggling, let's understand it and let's try to help them. Okay? But let's encourage them. Let's encourage them. One of the things that I get asked, a fair amount is, Jim, how do you know when to fire somebody? How do you know when that's the right thing to do? And here's my message on it. What our job is, if we're in charge, if we're the boss at whatever level that is, what our job is to give 100% of our efforts to make someone as good as they can be. That's our job. Give 100%. And the second we can't do that, that's the time to let them go, because you're not doing them any favors if you're not willing to give 100% of your efforts to make them as good as they can be. I know I've had a lot of folks over the years that have struggled and struggled and struggled, but I really believed in them, and I wasn't about to give up, and many times they ended up being really good. I had someone one time came and gave me notice, and then I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept your notice. Okay, you may have given up a little bit, but I sure haven't. I see big things here. And they ended up sticking around and actually being in the business for quite some time and having success at it. Okay, so listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Actually listen, and let's encourage. Let's catch people doing something right. Okay, let's don't just focus on catching them doing something wrong. Number 4, this is one of my favorites actually on this, is, illustrate, through stories. We're trying to communicate, our message, and sometimes it has to be stronger than others, right? But do it through stories. Do it through third-party stories. Hey, here's what happened this time. Here's another story of what happened. Here's a great success story. Here's one that didn't work out so well, but it could have if we'd done this. And so illustrate through stories, and listen to other people's stories, and you can even use those. But that third-party story is a great way to do it. It's a great way to do it when you're selling a membership. Okay, here's what another person experienced. Okay, and number 5, and this is one I see frequently. 5 critical tips for gym managers to communicate more effectively. Affirm with action. Take action on this. So here's the thing. We communicate this. We communicate it. We communicate it through different media, and we simplify it, and we be direct. We do all these things. Make sure you follow up. Make sure you follow up. Don't just say, here's what we're going to do, here's what we want to do, here's what I want you to do, here's this new program, but follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up. It's one of the big secrets to this, is follow up. Okay? Eventually it'll start to become second nature, to folks. But make sure you take action on it, follow up. I see this with a lot of folks when I first get involved and we're doing training and people get fired up and they're ready to start doing things, and we're going to do this, and they'll have this big meeting, get people pumped up, and they just expect them to go do it. Okay? You're going to have to follow up. Take action on it. Okay? So take a look at these 5 crucial tips, I think, for gym managers to communicate more effectively. Improve your communication. Watch your loyalty go up. Watch your kind of time in the saddle. People want to stick with you longer, because so often it's that relationship with the boss is why people leave. Look at these things, and what can we do to improve it to help take our business to that next level. So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today. And as I mentioned earlier, my focus here on the channel is I want to be able to reach as many people as I can, provide as much information as I can, and do it across as many regions as I can. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel. So if you've not yet done so, hit that subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.